You gotta love a bargain. As I say, this piece of wood that's holding it up at the right angle will have to be replaced when and if I get a decent pot. Come on, Santa, you can do it. Hello everybody, it's the 23rd of June and it seems like a really long time ago that I did any real work on this Chamaecyparis obtusa teddy bear, Literati tree. I basically bought it as a sickly plant and a poorly plant shelf in a local garden centre. It was reduced from £16.99 to £4.99, and I did put this bend in the top, but otherwise did very little to it. It was chopped back into this cut down pot and left to grow. I did put in some branch structure, but again that's all kind of gone out of the window a little bit. There's a piece of wood holding it up because it's trying to flop over, and the whole thing is tied to the bench because it won't stand up straight on its own. I'm gonna have to find a nice pot for it. Santa, if you're listening, I need a nice heavy ceramic drum pot or similar for this tree to go into, if and you please. I apologise that you haven't got a very good background to view this tree against. Let me see if I can show you the branch structure a bit more clearly by moving in a bit. Okay, well on the screen that looks a little better. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to do some chopping back to try and bring back these branches so that you can actually see that they're branches rather than it just being a big old mop head. So I'm going to pinch out some of this, well, cut out in fact, it won't pinch, some of these growths so that you can clearly see the beginning of the branch, and chop out some of these pieces that are growing straight upwards, like so. Just to try and some pieces that are growing straight down as well. Try and bring these branches back into a semblance of branches rather than, as I said, one big giant mop head. So I'm going to do the same on this side. This big piece that's growing back and in is obscuring that branch above, and I want to be able to expose this trunk line and make it clear where there are branches and where there are not. That already looks clearer, so I'll just continue on. Trying to create some foliage pads. And this branch at the back I think is going to need some wiring. Okay, so that's looking a little better. I do want to put a piece of wire on that piece, because otherwise these two branches are growing too close to each other, and it'll also give it a little bit more depth. Okay, so I'm going to anchor this piece of wire here around this gin. In fact, no, I'm going to go under there. As always say, make sure you have a long enough piece of wire before you start. Okay, so I'm going to anchor the wire around the trunk, and I'm going to come down and I want this branch to come round and back. Now, I've said many times, if you want advice on how to wire, I'm not your guy really. My wiring is functional, and that's probably the kindest thing that you can say about it. Okay, so that's taken that branch to the rear, and as I said, hopefully give it a bit of depth. Okay. The tree from the side, I can see that branch needs to come off now. I'll shorten that a little where those are interfering one with the other. But I'm generally quite happy with that. I want to take out some of these pieces here to differentiate this final little branch from the apex. Okay, that's better. And now it's just a question of building these pads some more. The tree has regained its health from the severe pruning and its ill health that it had when I got it, and hopefully we'll go from strength to strength. I can't give you a 360, as I said, the tree is tied to the bench, but I can give you a kind of wobbly go round like so. Hopefully that didn't make you feel too dizzy. Removed a lot of foliage, but I think that makes the tree look a lot more graceful. I think because, as I said, the tree hasn't been root pruned for a couple of years. It's quite strong, quite vigorous. Hopefully it'll barely notice. It'll think it's some sort of caterpillar or critter damage, and we'll just grow away to replace it. So there you go, my Literati Chamaecyparis obtusa teddy bear, bought for a song and grown away rather nicely. Thank you so much for watching. It is really appreciated. Do all the usual YouTube things, the liking, the subscribing, and the commenting down below. But most of all, please take care of yourselves. Stay safe, everybody.